Well, here we are. Out of the box, PK here, ready for another episode. We're going to talk about trading. Let me turn this music down because it's me, my old band. There we go. All right, here we go. Okay, you guys. We're going to talk about my trading experience. I've got 35 years. I started in 1982 when I was 22 years old. I'll just give a little background because every week we're going to, of course, we need to focus on the trading because we all need to make money. Because without money, we can't buy those plane tickets and pay for a hotel and go on these great beach vacations and go traveling. Or buy the things for our girl. So we have to make money, and the trading is the best way to do it. We're in great opportunity with the stocks, options, futures. Of course, they talk about the futures, but every week I'm going to give an update, and we'll do this at the end of this series. So anyway, as I said, I started in 1982. I was, the funny part about it, I was groomed to be in real estate. My father had a real estate business. And I never had any interest in finance or trading. And to make a long story short, when I graduated, interest rates were very high, and I sat there. And next thing you know, my father introduced me to a young guy who was about 27. This has been back in the Beverly Hills in California. The guy had a Rolex watch, which we have here. He had a Rolls Royce, a penthouse apartment. And back in these days, nobody had these things under 30 years old. So I never saw, and of course, he was from London. And he made all his money in the gold and silver run-up with the Hunt brothers in the late 70s. For some of you people, I know a lot of people are interested in gold and silver. They know the history that we had a big short squeeze with the Hunt brothers trying to corner the market. He made all this money, became famous in the UK, came over to America, to California, Beverly Hills, and make a long story short, I ended up working for him as an assistant, and that's how I got into the trading business. So I worked for him for about 4 months. At that time, silver was about $11. Gold was about $5.50. He started, and I watched him buy it all the way down. He lost all his money, lost clients' money. But I was hooked. I'd never seen anybody make and lose so much money so quickly. And of course, I idolized this guy because he had all the material things all us young people want. Next thing you know, my father got me a job over at Bear Stearns in the Century City office. I worked in the commodity department, and I got exposed to all the different markets. But the whole time I was planning, I wanted to have my own company like the guy I worked for in the gold and silver business. I ended up having my own brokerage company. I had 30 brokers. I was on the local television, on the financial news. This went on for 3 years, and I was trading on the side. But the brokerage business, that time was very difficult to make money because discount commissions started coming. And remember, this is way before the computer. So we all traded long term. There was no such thing as day trading. You had to be to Chicago, New York, or be on the floor to do these things. But anyway, so after about 4 or 5 months at Bear Stearns, I was ready, got the license. In fact, I turned out to be the youngest, what's called FCM, a futures commission merchant in the country. And I was off and running, and I thought I was going to really be the next big thing. I also became a commodity trading advisor. This is before they called him a hedge fund advisor, hedge fund trader. They didn't use that word those days. Investment advisor. But you can see I was really hooked. I had clients. I got in the brokerage business. And then next thing you know, I couldn't make money as a broker. I could only make money as a trader, but all my time was being used to run a business. And I really couldn't stand it. So I had to close up my business. And I have this 3.5 years of trading experience. Now what am I going to do? So I had a friend that I worked with in the past. He was a member of the Comex. I moved to New York. I went down to the floor for 2 weeks. He gave me a jacket. Of course, I'm not a member. He's a member. But he let me stand there with him and scream and make some trades. And I can tell you, of course, 25 years old. I'm full of confidence, and had money from the trading, and really ready to knock them dead. And I thought I was going to go down there and really show those New Yorkers who the boss is. But I got to tell you, I lost every day in the silver ring. Every time I wanted to buy, it would go down. Every time I wanted to go short, and I realized that I'm going to have to learn all over again. Because, you'll find out, I don't care what type of trader you are and what your vehicle is, you pay a price, a tuition, like a college tuition to trading. And the whole thing is to keep the losses down. And of course, I'm going to do a whole video about risk management, because trading is really all about this. It's not about what you buy or sell. It's about how you handle yourself. So I lasted 2 weeks, and I realized New York's not for me. I came back, started trading my own. I got involved in options, did some of that, made some money. But it really wasn't till maybe 2007 when the internet came in the late 90s, and the technology wasn't quite good enough. They had some direct access trading started to happen, but I didn't get back into the game until 2007. So, and then of course, commissions were dropped dramatically and no more over the phone. And this allowed me to live that, out of the box lifestyle of living anywhere. I lived in Hawaii, then I went over to Europe. At that time, I moved to Europe in 2004. And you could trade, with that computer, you can trade anywhere in the world. And the technology was strong enough to be able to execute the trades, whether you wanted to do stocks or options or futures. Of course, I had my experiences in the futures market, and this is what I did. Except the time frame I focused on was between 1 and 5 days. Instead of holding things for 3 weeks, 6 weeks, 2 months in futures, this is a long time. Was never interested in the classic day trading. I don't think this is a winning strategy. Yeah, you can make some trades and make some money in that day, but in the long run, you got to hold those trades and let the saying, cut your losses short, let your profits ride. All the books say it. It's a saying, but it happens to be true. But it's not so easy to do. Okay, so then after that, so that's what I've been doing since 2007, really to this day. So, you have to specialize. So another thing, I don't care if you're following stocks. You got to pick 5, 6, maybe up to 10 things, depending on how old you are. Of course, being at my age, late 50s, as I got older, I used to have 6 screens and 4 screens. I'm down to 3 screens because I can only watch so many things. So I narrowed it down to right now, I really have just been focusing for the last 10, 12 years on gold, copper, the stock index futures, including the DAX in Germany. Let's see, the crude oil. What else did I mention? And the 2 currencies, the British pound and the euro. I like the British pound better. It has more volatility. And remember, we need volatility as traders. This goes for anything. Stock too. You need things that are moving, that are really volatile. That's why we're in great times right now for the trading, since we have this pandemic and the whole situation. Anytime there's a disaster, is a great opportunity to make money. This is what I can tell you. And of course, we'll talk about that. So anyway, let's see what else in my notes I want to tell you. So to kind of wrap it up here, I'm going to do some trading videos every week. And I will give a weekly update and give you my opinion, what I think the market's going. So let's start right now. I think you know from the previous video, I think gold and silver are going lower. I think Bitcoin's going higher. The British pound is going lower, which means the dollar is getting stronger. I know what you hear. Everyone says the opposite, but this, we have a saying in trading, and I'll do a video about this, is trade what you see, not what you think. Every time I think it too hard, you end up losing. See what's in front of you. And I don't care what your time frame is. This is very, very important. It's very hard, hard to do because you watch the news. you watch your YouTube videos and a million people saying all these things that kind of crash, a disaster. How many people say the market's going up? Very few. How many people say the dollar is going to be strong and we're not going to? And very few. This, to me, is what makes me a contrarian. Back to I think the copper is going to go sideways. No trade there. Crude looks like it wants to go higher. So if you're an oil trader following the oil market, and remember, you can translate this to some stocks you're looking for because they're going to move together. And as I mentioned, right now, I didn't mention actually index futures, the stock index futures, the S&P, the Dow, the NASDAQ, the DAX in Europe. Of course, we're way up there. I'm going to have no comment right now about the stock market. You know, individual stocks, different situation. So anyway, that's what I think. Let's focus on trying to make some money. Every week I'll be doing updates on the market and helping you with some instructional videos, but not the things that you're used to watching. Things that really matter, which is how to control the trade. One day I might take questions and how do you get in? Where's the best place? You know, there's a million books on trading and they all pretty much say the same thing, but they really don't focus on the most important aspect of trading, which is you gotta know how to manage your money, or else there's no buying those plane tickets, no going to Hawaii, no going to Europe, wherever you like to go. This is important. You got to have the money to stay in the game. So anyway, this is PK. Wishing everyone a great week, and I will speak to you again tomorrow. Have a nice day. Ciao, you guys.